Hello and welcome. If you haven't already, I invite you to please click subscribe. There's no obligation, and it allows you to be notified of all new chapters. Additional information about the story, including the author, chapter warnings, and rating, can be found in the description below. All credit goes to the original author. Bleeding Skies by Orphan Account. Chapter 2. The Desert. The pilot of the small, expensive private plane had no idea that one of his passengers was freaking out, as he kept the door between the cockpit and the back closed. Now, while he nose-dived his aircraft, wanting them to enjoy the scenery, he switched from intercom to the opening of the door and calls out to them. "This desert is a fantastic piece of nature. Can you see that? This particular part we are right above is called the Black Rock Desert. You have to be careful not to get lost there. It's quite dangerous." "Yeah, no kidding," Stiles mutters angrily, releasing his grip on Scott's wrist for the second time. "Sometimes the desert animals don't see a human being for days. During the day it's extremely hot, but at night it can cool off quite a bit, especially during this part of the year. And then there are some wild animals, of course. If you get lost here, you won't last very long, I'm afraid. Like I said, quite an interesting place in nature." "Good thing he doesn't know we have our own animals on board," Stiles whispers, resulting in a grin from his fellow travelers. "Is this thing fang-proof, you think?" Scott takes out another pack of nuts stacked in one of the small compartments between the seats of the luxurious small plane, ripping it open. The smell of it nauseates Stiles to no end. "Want some?" he offers, shoving the bag right under Stiles' nose. "Like hell," Stiles mutters, "unless you want me to vomit on your lap. Seeing as you literally dragged me in this suffocating prison would serve you right, too." "Lighten up, Stiles," Derek retorts. "We'll be there in 20 minutes. Don't be such a baby. You've already survived more than an hour on this thing." Malia, looking outside to admire the scenery, leans over the seats again, eyeing Stiles' very pale face. "I'll bet you $50 he's going to throw up before we hit the ground." "Thanks for the vote of confidence," Stiles mutters. "Good thing to know I have my girlfriend backing me up." "Deal," Derek accepts, shaking hands with her over Stiles' head, despite her boyfriend's protests. Malia snorts, leaning back against Lydia. The strawberry blonde just smiles, ignoring them all while she listens to the roaring engines and looks forward to the swimming pool. After all the stress they've been through lately, this comes as a pleasant gift. "Thanks again, Derek," she calls out to the werewolf. He smiles. "You're welcome." "Never thought I'd see the day you'd be smiling like that," Stiles remarks, trying to focus on the man he knows considers him the occasional nuisance. "Whatever happened to you?" "I grew up," Derek retorts. "How about you?" "I'll grow up after we get the hell out of this thing," Stiles mutters, clutching his queasy stomach. "Seriously, someone put me out of my misery. You may all escape car sickness and all that, but I'm dying up here. How much longer?" "Airplane sickness, you mean," Derek corrects. "Relax, Stiles. Not much longer now. You've complained over the past 5 minutes, yet again, leaving 15 more to fly." Liam just laughs out loud. "His skin is actually turning gray. I didn't know you could do that." "It's been long enough," Stiles croaks. "Can someone open a window so I can puke on that wonderful desert of his?" "This is not a train, Stiles. You can't open a window on a plane," Lydia gently reminds him, feeling sorry for him, where the others just seem to find it hilarious. She must admit that it is a funny sight to watch an already very nervous Stiles twitch even more, but it's gone on long enough. She moves forward, shoving Scott out of the way as she examines Stiles' pale features. "Did you take your Adderall today?" "Tons of it. Why do you think I'm freaking out like this?" Lydia pulls up an eyebrow. Why? For God's sake. Thought I was taking Dramamine and got all mixed up, Stiles muttered, eyes closed. Can someone please hand me a bucket? A plane doesn't have that either, Derek mutters. And I swear I'll kill you if you throw up all over the upholstery of this $1 million plane. Here, grab this. The oldest wolf reaches for a brown paper bag, handing it to Stiles, who grasps it tightly, heaving into it. You really should be doing something about that anxiety of yours, Stiles. And that car sickness, too. Why do you think I usually do the driving? Stiles groans. You all drive like crazy, and I end up hanging out the window. Besides, all of our problems will be solved when we crash. Suddenly, the pilot swerves unexpectedly, changing his route for the second time, causing Stiles to curse out loud this time. Hey, guys, he calls out to the back of the plane. I see something weird. Look to your right for a second. At that very moment, Stiles feels cold fear run down his back. He can't even explain where it's coming from, or what it means, but he knows this just doesn't feel right, and his senses are usually right. He wants to shout out to the others not to listen to the pilot, to fly those last 15 minutes and get into Palm Springs as quickly as possible. But he doesn't, regretting it afterwards when all goes to hell. The pilot doesn't even realize it at the moment, but his decision to retrace his steps and swerve once more over the desert area they're flying over will ultimately end up killing him.